RRHI with a 15.77 billion worth of share buyback. What does it mean to you as an investor? That is the topic for today's TRFM stock commentary. So RRHI is a stock na ang dami na tong na-disappoint na investor since 2017, di ba? Kung bili mo siya dati around 2017, 2018, ganon, di ba? Fast forward today, you are down negative 61%. Nagtitrade siya malapit sa kanyang all-time low. Ang tanong, maganda na bang bilhin ang RRHI at current level? Pero bago yan, ba't nga ba to bumagsak ng ganon katindi? I think siya para sa akin, it's a classic example again of overvaluation, okay? Kasi si RRHI, binalikan ko yung kanyang result, financial results nung 2017, 2018. And eto siya, So dati nag-generate siya around 132 billion in sales and a net income of 5.8 billion. So fast forward sa current trailing 12 month ng business is plus na siya mag-generate ng sales and in terms of profitability, almost similar, okay? So 5.8, 5.9. So yun lang So for the longest time, karon siya ng issue sa kanyang profit margin. And even at this current level na almost similar siya nung 2017, never ata kapag binavalue ko to dati, I think hindi siya lumabas itong 90 or 88 to 90 na valuation. So technically during this time, binavalue siya, siguro overvalued. Binibigyan siya ng mataas na premium sa kanyang valuation. And then after pa ng 2018, 2019, 2020, nagka-COVID, kaya makita nyo, nag-collapse yung performance niya ng 2020. So overvalued na nga siya. Nag-collapse pa yung kanyang fundamentals, therefore yung valuation niya mas liliit, di ba? And then by 2023 nag-correct ulit siya. Siguro dahil dito, yung hindi magandang performance niya. Noong 2023 at least yung nireport niya na net income. Then nag-recover ng 2024 pero yung stock price niya hindi nag-react. For the longest time ng 2024 parang flat lang siya. And then on a trailing 12-month basis, kapag i-factor out mo yung one-time gain nila with the BPI merger, na siya almost similar na siya sa kanyang 2022. Nandito siya dati. And of course, almost similar sa kanyang 2017, 2018. Ang tanong, maganda pa tong ginawa ni RRHI na share buyback. So ba't ba gumagawa ng share buyback ang isang business? So parang pwede mo yan i-relate sa sarili mo, If you believe in the long-term growth prospect ng business mo, natural lang na gumawa ka ng share buyback, di ba? Para ma-enhance lahat ng shareholder value ng mga existing investor. Na yun nga yung ginagawa ng RRHI on recent years is that it seems aggressive siya gumawa ng share buyback sa open market. So, meron siyang budget of 8 billion. Halos maubos na niya, 7.8. And then, eto malupit dyan. So, recently, nagkaroon ng di ba? Parang medyo malaking pitik. Last time, eto, kumalaw siya ng parang around 7% hanggang sa nag-correct lang din kasi yung overall PSEI last Friday, nag-correct. Correct siya ng malala. So, ba't siya pinitek? Well, because of this news na RRHI reacquire shares held by DFI Retail Group. Pero yung mga ganyan, lang yan mga gustong mag-exit na kesa i-dump nila sa open market, share buyback na lang ng RRHI. So nire-acquire nila yung 315 million common shares representing 22.2% of RRHI. Ang tanong, nalugi ba itong DFI Retail Group? Yung binenta nila yung kanilang shares, mamaya malalaman natin. As a background, DFI became a significant minority shareholder of RHI in 2018. So, ipit to, di ba? 2018, dito pa yan eh. So, it doesn't matter kung saan nila ibinenta ulit or ni-require yung RRHI, nilang shares, nalugi sila, di ba? Kasi 2018 ba nila nakuha yung shares? When RRHI acquired 100% stake of Rostan Solar Centers via a share for share swap transaction with DFI, DFI further increased its stake in the company when it bought secondary shares from members of Gokongwei family and also in the market to reach 20% stake in RRHI at that time, no? Laki ng ipit na yun. So ngayon, gumawa ng buyback ang RRHI? Sabi nila, strategic move to optimize capital allocation and create more value to its stakeholder. So naniniwala sila na undervalued ang RRHI at current level and at a level kung saan nila binayback yung shares ng DFI. DFI has been instrumental in RRHI's growth over the last few years. So our acquisition in 2018 and 2020 from DFI, sila pala yung Salarin, no? Itong business pala or itong acquisition na pala to ata yung Salarin. Food retail business is for our drugstore presence in Visayas and Mindanao. Makita nyo, no? So 2016, 2017, 2018, growing yung company. Yung net income niya is growing and then biglang gumawa ng expansion yung RRHI. And fast forward today, yes, napag-generate sila ng sales pero makita nyo yung kanilang profit is almost similar. Di ba? Doon sa profit nila nung 2018. So pwede mong sabihin na medyo ba tagilid yung acquisition na ginawa nila. Di ba? Hindi siya nag-materialize ng maganda-ganda. So yes, nakagawa sila ng acquisition, nakapag-generate sila ng mga additional sales revenue. However, no, mukhang kinain yung kanilang profit margin. Such that fast forward today, halos walang nagbago di ba? Sila daw yung naging exclusive distributor of DFI's private label brands Meadows and Garden. Hindi ko familiar, no, in the country. So ito yung patunay na hindi lahat ng acquisition na ginagawa ng isang business automatically magtra-translate yon into additional growth for the business, especially sa profit growth nila. The transaction was executed, blah blah blah. Hindi sinabi kung ilan yung or saan nila binili, pero nandito yan sa article. Actually, binili nila siya sa 50 pesos. So, pumasok yung DFI 2018, 2017, and then na-reacquire yung kanilang shares around 50 pesos dito. So, technically, parang lugi, di ba? Pero, pagdating kasi sa pricing ng mga, yung mga asset, ganon, ng mga equities, wala kang pake sa yung naging history ng business kung saan mo sila binili. Dapat doon mo din sila i-acquire. Walang pakialam yan, okay? Ang pakialam yan is a current state ng business and sa kanyang ginagawang growth trajectory. So siguro gumawa ng valuation ang RRHI and ang valuation nila sa ngayon sa kanilang business is around 50 pesos. So siguro para sa kanila ito yung current or pinakamalapit na intrinsic value ng business. Pero ito malupit dyan. Alam nyo ba? Ako, pinafollow ko rin ang RRHI. And ako, gumagawa ako ng aking sariling stock analysis, fundamentals and valuation analysis which is eto, ang pinaka-latest one is na-generate ko ending first quarter of 2025. And alam mo ba ano yung lumabas sa aking valuation? Using the current growth trajectory ng business and using my conservative assumption, ang lumabas sa akin, ang bargain price ng RRHI is, alam mo ba? Ayun no. Oh, saktong-sakto no. Diba? So ang bargain price ko sa ngayon kay RRHI is also 50 pesos. Diba? Using a flattish growth assumption, assuming moving forward, magpa-flat ang RRHI. Ngayon, kung mag-grow ulit sila around mid-single digit, ganon, then mag-improve yung aking fair value into 63 pesos. So, I think yung ginawang share buyback ng RRHI is in line with my personal stock analysis. Na at current price, 50 pesos, that's around 32% upside. And then kapag mag-start na siyang mag-grow around mid-single digit, na siya, mag-improve na siya into 63 pesos dito. Which is around 67% upside. So still, malayong malayo dun sa yung price niya nung 2018, 2017 around 88 to 100, ganon. Siguro kung dumating sila sa point na nagre-register na sila ng around 10 plus billion in profit, then maybe possible siguro yon. Pero yung performance nila kasi nung 2024, meron sila dito one-time gain. Gawa nung BPI merger. And if you want more of my stock analysis on different stocks, my personal fundamentals and valuation analysis of different companies, check the pinned comment. So, etong nangyari kay RHI, for me, I think is a classic example of 2018 siguro overvaluation ng business. And then, eventually, gumawa sila ng acquisition around 2018, ganon. In hopes na mag-drive ng revenue and profit growth sa business. Ang problema, fast forward today, nakapag-generate siya ng additional sales pero hindi siya nakapag-generate ng better margin, no? In fact, nag-suffer yung margins ng business. Dumating pa yung COVID, so mas nag-collapse yung kanilang profitability. Yun yung dahilan bakit nagtuloy-tuloy na nag-collapse yung kanyang stock price. However, kung mag-continue naman na mag-grow na ulit yung kanilang fundamentals, then of course, yun ulit yung magiging dahilan kung makaka-recover ulit etong business na to. And ayun lang. So again, if you want more of my personal stock analysis, check the pinned comment.